Hi, I'm Diane Burton, the Masterpiece Coach, and I have the honor and privilege of sharing the message of beating cancer with your fork. This information I'm sharing is from research done through the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education and beatcancer.org. It's not to take the place of what the doctor tells you. I encourage you to partner with your doctor. Ask him or her, what can I do? It is designed to educate you and to encourage you to research and take 100% responsibility for your health. The information is a guide and a first step towards taking this responsibility for prevention and healing. So before we get started on the information, let me share a little bit of background about beatcancer.org and the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education. Their mission is to help people by providing research-based education on how to prevent, cope with, and beat cancer through diet, lifestyle, and other immune-boosting approaches. Dr. Susan Silberstein, the founder and educational director, is an international speaker on nutrition, cancer prevention, and complementary and alternative medicine, and the author of numerous books. The Center for Advancement in Cancer Education is a nonprofit organization which has guided and supported over 30,000 cancer patients in the last 40 years. Dr. Silberstein started the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education because of her husband. At a very young age, early 30s, her husband was diagnosed with cancer. Dr. Silberstein started doing research. And I want you to realize that 40 plus years ago, doing research meant going to a library, opening up books, digging in, reading everything you can find. We didn't have the internet and access to Google and things like that to be able to find answers. Unfortunately, Dr. Silberstein was not able to find enough research and find answers to save her husband's life. However, because of what she learned, because of what she saw her husband go through, she realized that there were going to be a lot of people who could use what she had learned. And so her passion became to continue that research and to start the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education. And that's why over 30,000 cancer patients have been served in this nonprofit organization by Dr. Silberstein. So who is the Masterpiece Coach? That's me, and I just very quickly want to share a little bit about me so you'll know who is talking to you. I am a holistic cancer educator through the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education. I'm also a certified health and wellness coach through the Dr. Sears Wellness Institute. And once I started learning from Dr. Silberstein and finding that there was hope for people who had cancer, I was so pierced in my soul that I wanted to share this information with whoever would listen. It just feels like an obligation to be able to share. And I know Dr. Silberstein can't do it all, and that's why she trains other people to be her holistic cancer educators. And then in 2011, my mom died of colon cancer. And you know, I wish I knew then what I know now, because we would have done things differently. Could she have been saved? I don't know, because the doctors didn't pay attention to signs that were in her body. And so when she was diagnosed with her cancer, she only lived 5.5 weeks. We chose not to do treatments because her body was so eaten up with cancer. And because of that, I have this deep desire to share with those who will listen. And my prayer is that as you hear this information I'm sharing with you, that you will allow it to go deep inside, that you will listen, that you will take what you learn and apply it, that you will take 100% responsibility for your health. You know, the doctor can't do it all. The doctor doesn't know your body. You know your body. Listen to what it's saying to you and partner with your doctor. If your doctor won't let you partner, then maybe find someone else who will listen. And so the information you hear today is going to be very, very valuable for you. I'm also a certified grief coach. I'm a Christian women's coach. I'm the author of the Master's Masterpiece and the Master's Masterpiece 40-Day Journal. And you can go on my website to find that. And I also have a free ebook on my website called 6 Foods God Wants You to Stop Eating Right Now. You see, you're going to find out that foods play a large part in beating cancer. And yet people have a lot of emotion surrounding food. And so this free ebook and my book can serve you in helping you with that. I'm also a speaker. I'm married to Ken over 42 years. We have 2 children and 2 grandchildren. You know, cancer is not, it's a word, not a sentence. What it means is that your terrain, your immune system has been compromised. In 2017, there were an estimated 1.6 million new cancer cases diagnosed and over 600,000 cancer deaths. Those numbers are higher than the prediction given for 2010 to 2020. This is a map of the United States, and it shows the estimated numbers of new cancer cases for 2018, and it excludes basal cell and squamous cell skin cancers and some other cancers. And yet, they're estimating over 1.7 million new cases of cancer. About 609,640 of those cases, of those over 1.7 million Americans, are expected to die of their cancer in 2018. That's over or about 1,670 deaths per day. That's unacceptable. Cancer is the second most common cause of death in the U.S., exceeded only by heart disease. The top cancers for men are prostate and lung, and for women, breast and lung. 42% of newly diagnosed cases in the U.S., about 729,000 in 2018, are potentially avoidable, including those caused by smoking, excess body weight, physical inactivity, excess alcohol consumption, and poor nutrition. Now, this is according to American Cancer Society. According to Dr. Silberstein at the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education, they believe that 90% of all cancers can be eliminated through environmental and lifestyle choices alone. And their research, science agrees. Think about it, 90%? Did you know that only 5 to 10% of all cancer cases are attributed to genetic defect? It might impel, but it doesn't compel. Whereas the remaining 90 to 95% have their roots in the environment and lifestyle. And remember, I shared with you, my mom died of colon cancer. So when I learned this from Dr. Silberstein, I was thrilled to know that only 5 to 10% is genetic. And that when I take care of my body and put the right foods in, the chances of me getting colon cancer are very, very low. As she said, it might impel, but it doesn't compel. Of all cancer-related deaths, 25 to 30% are due to tobacco. As many as 30 to 35% are linked to diet, and this number is growing so much. 15 to 20% are due to infections, and the remaining percentage are due to other factors like radiation, stress, physical activity, environmental pollutants, and others. According to the American Institute for Cancer Research, more than 120,000 cases of cancer each year are caused by obesity. Something that we can do something about this. It doesn't have to be. And 69% of Americans are overweight or obese. The average obesity rate in the U.S., 25 to 35%. Now, cancer may not be about what you're eating, but what's eating you. So here's some lifestyle keys to prevent cancer. Of course, diet, which is going to be our main focus today, but also detoxification, exercise, aerobic exercise, stress management, and safe sunlight exposure. The body is programmed for wellness. Now, bad genes may load the gun. In other words, it could impel, but it's poor lifestyle choices that pull the trigger. The biggest way we interfere with the body's programming is with bad food choices. Your body knows what to do with real food. And when you eat real food, it will protect you. However, when you make those bad food choices, you're interfering with what is supposed to be going on in your body. So our main focus for this presentation is the connection between diet and cancer. Over 4,500 studies show fresh fruits and vegetables prevent cancer. People who eat the most fruits and vegetables have a 50% lower cancer rate. So it's a nutrition deficient problem. Food will harm or heal. And look at this, 80% of cancers are related to the standard American diet, the SAD diet. There are things that we're told to eat that are not good for us, that are in the standard American diet. And when people will pay attention and eat real food, we could get rid of so many cancers. So every bite you take is either fighting disease or feeding it. Every bite you take is either healing your body or killing your body. We have a choice. Now, let's look at the cancer protective diet. Look at all those fruits and veggies. Oh, such good food. It's important. Eat lots of plants. Eat primitive, not processed. Roots and fruits, greens and beans, seeds and weeds, some wild fish and wild game. Okay, here's what we want to avoid. It's called the modern diet. Meats and sweets, pies and fries, chips and dips, cakes and shakes, white foods high in sugar, cow dairy, and flour products. Of these two lists, the lots of plants, the eating primitive, or the modern diet, which have you eaten the most of today? Which have you been eating the most of recently? If you're eating a lot of the foods on the list, or if you're eating those foods on the list of the modern diet, you are working against your body. And when you start eating primitive and eating real food, your body is going to say thank you. You will be working with your body instead of against it. So be a Nutritarian. This is a person whose food choices are influenced by nutritional quality. They base their food choices on maximizing micronutrients per calorie. They consume a daily diet of 90% whole plant foods, and a Nutritarian understands that food has powerful preventive and therapeutic effects. Now, you want to optimize your omega 6:3 ratio. The ideal ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 is 1:1, and this is from Dr. Mercola. Our ancestors lived on a diet with a 1:1 ratio, but look at what the modern diet is. It's 20 to 50 omega-6s to 1 omega-3. Is there any wonder why so many people are sick? Now look at what happens when you eat omega-6 fats. They tend to suppress your immune system, while omega-3 fats tend to boost the immune system. Now, which do you want? Do you want to suppress your immune system, which will cause you to get sick? Remember, when a person is sick, that means your terrain or your immune system is compromised. So when you suppress your immune system, you're compromising it. When you eat omega-3 fats, you are boosting the immune system. So you want to eliminate all omega-6 polyunsaturated oils from your diet, such as soybean, corn, safflower, sunflower, vegetable, and cottonseed oils. They are a cancer fuel, and they make cancer grow faster. So I don't know about you, but if I had any of those in my cabinet, they would go into the trash immediately, because I don't want to fuel my body and make my terrain healthy for cancer cells to be live. Plus, they are culprits in Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease. Again, I don't know of anyone who wants these diseases. So if you have any of those oils in your house, throw them out. Instead, increase the omega-3 fatty acid sources, such as wild cold water fish like salmon. You want to be sure that it is from Alaska, wild caught. Never ever eat farm-raised fish. Now, sometimes you can look at a bag of Alaska wild-caught salmon. It'll say that on it, but I encourage you, read everything on the package, on the back of the package, the front of the package, read it all. Because one time I was visiting a friend, and we were going to have salmon. Now, this was before I knew this about farm raised, but I remember us looking. I knew I wanted Alaska wild caught. And so we were looking at the salmon, and it said it was Alaska wild caught. And then it said it was farm raised. And what that says to me is they caught it young and put it in a pond and raised it that way. That it cannot be to your body what it's supposed to be when it's been farm raised. So be sure it is 100% Alaska wild caught up till just before, you got it ready to eat. You can also eat sardines and anchovies. Now, there's a lot of focus now on eating grass-fed beef. You will notice on here I have 100% grass-fed. You can buy grass-fed beef at the store. However, if it does not say 100% grass-fed, that means that they grass-fed it up to maybe the last 3 months of its life and then fattened it up with grains and products that could have pesticides and GMOs in them. And when it goes into that beef, that cattle, it will go into your body. Remember, whatever you eat, think about what they ate. So be sure that your beef is 100% grass-fed. Wild game is great. Pastured hens and their eggs, the free range. Eat raw walnuts, raw pumpkin, flax, hemp, and chia seeds. And, of course, preferably organic. Now, let's talk about these fats. Other good source of fats are monounsaturated fats, best unheated. These are extra virgin olive oil, olives, avocado, and raw nuts. Saturated fats are more stable at high temperatures. So you want to cook with and use extra virgin coconut oil, and there's also on the market avocado oil that you can use to cook with. So here's your coconut oil and olive oil. These are a definite yes. Now I want to share one thing about the olive oil. Be sure that it really is olive oil. I bought some olive oil at the grocery store one time, and I learned that to find out if olive oil is really olive oil, you take a little bit of it and put it in the refrigerator. If it gels, it is the real deal. It's real olive oil. If it stays a liquid, it's not. The olive oil I bought at the grocery store that said it was olive oil wasn't. It had other oils in it, and therefore it was compromised. And so I threw it out, and I went to our local health food grocery store. We have two. I'm so blessed in my little town to have these amazing stores. And I talked with them about olive oil, and they recommended one, and I bought it, and it's the real deal. So you want to check out your olive oil, and it's sad that they sell it at a store and it says it's olive oil when it really isn't. Now, do not consume hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils, your trans fats. These are a definite no, and this is where you're going to find those foods. And if you look at this picture of all these different pies and cakes and breads and burgers and fries and pizza and fried chicken and other foods on there, these are the foods that most people consume. So many people are consuming these foods, and this is what is making people sick. These foods cause cancer. These foods cause diabetes, arthritis, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, all these kinds of disease that are out there. These kinds of foods are causing it. And so you don't want to eat these kinds of foods. Now, you can go to the store and buy foods and it will say no trans fat. And there's even a can of a white product and it will say no trans fat on it. Yet all it is that trans fat. The reason they can get by with saying no trans fat is because of the serving size. It's very, very important to pay attention to the ingredients and to the serving size. And the serving size is so small that then they can say there is no trans fat in it. Yet, if you think about it, whoever will only have that small amount for a serving? Because when you use those types of oils, it's usually to deep fry something. It's usually to put into cakes and pies, and you're going to get more than that amount. So it's really, really important to pay attention to the kinds of fats you're putting into your body. Coconut oil, one of those, as it shows here, the great, great fat for you. And the amazing benefits of coconut oil: antioxidant, medium chain triglycerides, lauric acid, caprylic acid, capric acid, and the benefits are so amazing for your health and healing, your skin care, hair care, stress relief, weight loss, immunity, infections, digestion, diabetes, and heart health. So many benefits of coconut oil. Now, it's also important to reduce sugar in your diet so that you can beat cancer. Cancer cells uptake glucose at 10 to 12 times the rate of healthy cells. In other words, sugar is cancer's favorite food. For a person who has the live cancer cells in their body that eats sugar, that sugar goes 10 to 12 times faster to the cancer cells than to a healthy cell. Cancer cells thrive on sugar. And so when you put sugar into a body that has live cancer cells in it, you are feeding those cancer cells, and it is thriving. So it's so important to get all that sugar out and to never put sugar back in so that the cancer cells cannot thrive. Also, when you eat sugar, it suppresses your immune system for up to 5 hours. Again, I don't know of anybody that wants to suppress their immune system. It shuts it down. And when you shut the immune system down for that long, you are opening your body up to get sick. Sugar also stimulates insulin release and cancer growth factor. It decreases the phagocytic ability of white blood cells. Now, you don't want to consume artificial sweeteners either. Aspartame or sucralose, Splenda, or saccharin have potentially more cancer-causing properties than sugar. And they're especially showing up with bladder cancer, lymphomas, and leukemia. Stevia, lohanguo, and xylitol are great sugar substitutes. You can also substitute with raw honey, molasses, and coconut sugar because they have some health benefits, yet you do want to keep it in small amounts. Now, you want to eat colorful. Fruits and vegetables contain an array of carotenes, flavonoids, antioxidants, and other disease-fighting compounds that are very difficult to find anywhere else. Plant chemicals or phytochemicals can fight cancer in many ways, including reducing inflammation, boosting the immune system, eliminating carcinogens, regulating the rate at which your cells reproduce, getting rid of old cells, repairing your cellular DNA, and you want to strive to eat 13 servings of vegetables and fruits, mostly vegetables, every day. And for those who do have live cancer cells in their body, it's important to eat 3 vegetables to 1 fruit. And there are some fruits that are better for your body than others. And we'll go into some of the fruits here. Now, some people like to juice, and Dr. Silberstein is very, very encouraging to her patients to juice. There's so many benefits of juicing. And when you juice, now you do take the fiber out when you use a juicer, and you want to do it fresh. You don't want to buy something that's already been juiced at the grocery store. You only want to juice fresh, okay? It's going to increase energy. It's going to help you sleep better. It's going to build your bones, improve digestion, ward off stress, meet your daily fruit and vegetable quotient, will help you live longer, and it's going to boost your brain. These are some of the benefits of juicing. And so when you juice and you drink that, you're flooding your body with the nutrition of those fruits and veggies. Now, I want to share just real quick a product that we use, and I truly, truly believe this product is the reason my husband is doing as well as he is, because in the summer of 2012, he was very, very, very sick. Carried a fever for 4 weeks. He was lethargic. The doctors could not figure out what was wrong with him. And he began to finally get better after 3 months. And I don't know if what was wrong with him got out of his system. They were testing him for different kinds of cancer. And then he started getting better. I do believe prayer had a lot to do with it, yet I also know that the foods we eat have a lot to do with it. And 2 years after he was better, he still wasn't his best. He still would tire very easily. And so a friend of mine introduced me to a product called Juice Plus. And this is the same. This is similar to juicing because they take this product, they juice it, they dehydrate it, they put it in a capsule, a vegetable capsule, and then you take 2 of each of these a day and you flood your body with the nutrition of 32 fruits and veggies, just like juicing. And Dr. Silberstein does believe in this product. She is a big believer in this product. And so the nutrition of those 32 fruits and veggies, there are almost 40 research studies behind it to prove what it will do. And it's been on the market for 25 years. And if you want to know more about it, just contact me. But I wanted to share that with you because a lot of people don't want to juice. It does take time. Yet the benefits outweigh the time if you have the time to do it. And you want to also be sure you use fresh, organic fruits and vegetables. And that's what you get with the Juice Plus and also their complete shake. Okay, you want to consume fiber. Fiber is the non-nutritive part of plants that binds up and escorts out cancer-promoting hormones and chemicals. Fiber is so important. Now, remember I told you when you juice, you take the fiber out. And so you have the juice to flood your body quickly with the nutrition. And people who are dealing with cancer a lot of times can't handle just sitting and eating an apple, but they can handle drinking the juice to get that nutrition, okay? Yet, once they have juiced and the fiber is out of it, you can take that pulp and you can put it into a smoothie and be able to drink it and get it into your body, okay? You want to strive to consume 50 grams of fiber every day. You remember I told you the standard American diet, 80% of the reason people are getting cancer is because of the standard American diet? That's because they recommend that you only have to have 5 grams of fiber a day. It is no wonder people have digestive, intestinal, gut issues. So fruits and vegetables are rich in fiber as well as beans, legumes, nuts and seeds, and psyllium husk. The more fiber we consume, the more frequent and bulky are our solid eliminations through the bowel. So sluggish bowels and small stools equal large hospitals. So if you only are getting 5 grams of fiber a day, that's what's happening. People are ending up in the hospital because they're having such serious problems. An apple will bind 20 times their weight in bowel toxins. Dr. Silberstein says the equivalent of 1 small apple per day could prevent 36,000 new cancer diagnoses in the United States a year. Now, would you be willing, if you're not eating an apple every day, would you be willing to add 1 apple to your eating every single day? Make sure it's organic, and again, wash it. Eat the whole thing. Peeling, I take mine and I take the core and I put it in my smoothie. So I get everything but the stem in my body. Okay? So eat it all. Eat that apple. Be one of those. Prevent your cancer. An apple has 10,000 phytonutrients in it. 10,000. What a beautiful fruit God made. Y'all, fruits and vegetables are God's pharmacy. And He designed us to eat fruits and vegetables to prevent. He designed us to eat to fuel our body. Eat to live, not live to eat. And by adding that apple, you can make a difference in your health. Now, you also want to eat alkaline. On the pH scale, there's a range of acidity to alkalinity from 0 to 14. Our blood pH is 7.3 to 7.4. Our intracellular pH needs to be alkaline to promote healing. Tumors and most diseases thrive in acidity. So when you are not feeding your body correctly, it will be acidic, and that's where cancer cells love to live, okay? Just as a rat loves to live in garbage, cancer cells love to live in garbage. A rat's not going to live where it's clean and healthy. Cancer cells won't live where it's clean and healthy. So, is your body is it acidic? Is it like a garbage dump? Because that's where cancer cells thrive, is in a garbage dump. Healthy body won't thrive in that. Healthy bodies thrive in clean. So you want to strive to eat only 20% of your diet from acid sources and 80% from alkaline sources. Now, here are the ones that are the most acidic: meat, fish, dairy, eggs, grains, sugar, and fats. The most alkaline are your raw vegetables. This increases energy, normalizes weight, and will protect you against disease. So what if you were to eat 50 to 75% of your diet raw? Sprout your seeds and grains, juice fruits and vegetables, soak your nuts and dried fruit, thermocook grains, and dehydrate your foods. Now, when you eat a raw diet, the food enzymes come from the food we eat and start the digestion process. Food enzymes are very important. They aid in the absorption. Now, if you cook your food, you're going to damage the enzymes over 96 degrees, okay? The less the body has to produce enzymes for digestion, the more these enzymes are freed up to heal, repair, and run our organs. So when you eat meats, it takes longer for them to digest. So to optimize your enzyme function, you want to eat raw foods with every meal. And for a person who is sick, no matter what disease, we are focused on cancer here, but no matter what disease, for a person who is sick, if they're eating foods that take a lot of time to digest, such as meats, then you're using up the enzymes in your body that are there to help you heal. So you want to free up the enzymes in your body, and you can do that by eating the raw fruits and vegetables. If you choose to eat a lot of cooked food, then you want to take food enzymes. Use simple food combining rules to separate starches and proteins at each meal. And you want to eat organic. There are more phytonutrients, antioxidants, and minerals in organic foods. You don't have to worry about hormones, antibiotics, GMOs, pesticides, or artificial colors. And you want to eat native. Be a locavore. Eat real, whole, unprocessed foods. Eat mostly plants, untrucked and raw or lightly cooked. And you want to eliminate these processed foods. Now, let's talk about some cooking methods. These are good cooking methods: braising, steaming, poaching, baking, and stewing. Cooking methods to avoid are frying, grilling, microwaving, and roasting. And you don't want to microwave. At best, microwaving changes the chemical bonding and molecular structure of every food and beverage put in it. At worst, microwaving actually creates immunosuppressive and carcinogenic compounds. It decreases nutritional value, so you lose the minerals, the vitamins, and other nutrients. Microwaving affects blood composition by decreasing hemoglobin. It alters the HDL-LDL ratios, causing a short-term decrease in white blood cells, and it increases leukocytes, an indicator of poison and cell damage. It causes digestive, reproductive, immune, and nervous system disturbances. Dr. Silberstein has a book called Hungrier for Health. And in that book, there's a lot of education in about the first 80 pages, and then the rest of the book are recipes. And this book are vegan recipes. In her book, she has 10 reasons, the top 10 reasons not to use a microwave. And one of those reasons, and I have that post in a blog post on my website, The Master's Masterpiece. I took her information and put it on there so that people could have access to that. So you can go there and read those top 10 reasons. And most of them are incorporated right here. One of the reasons that she talks about, though, is what it does. As you see here, nervous system disturbances and just the different things it does to the body. Yet in one of her descriptions, it sounds just like a person who has Alzheimer's or dementia. And so when I read the top 10 reasons, but especially that one, and also the one that about a decrease in white blood cells, because my husband, his white blood cell count was extremely low when he was sick. So when I read that and how it sounds like Alzheimer's, I said, we're not going to use the microwave anymore. And so we have not used our microwave. I still have it because it's a part of the hood over my stove. However, we do not use it to warm up, cook, or anything like that because of what it does to the body. And I want to encourage you, please, please do not use your microwave because of what it can and what it does do to the body. Now look at what happens here. Here's 4 cooking methods. And the red shows that the micronutrients are destroyed. The blue, the micronutrients are in the water. And then the green, your micronutrients are retained. So steaming is your best method. And if you look over there at the microwave, you've lost everything, plus what you've done to changing it and what it's going to then do to your body. In boiling, you've lost just about everything also. A little bit of the nutrients are in the water. Now, pressure cook, you lose your micronutrients, however they are in the water. So, you know, if you're going to eat it as a stew or something, if you're putting your fresh vegetables in there, then be sure that to include the broth. However, the best way is to steam. Now, we like baked potatoes. However, I have discovered that I can steam our potatoes, whether it's a white potato, a sweet potato, whatever kind of potato it is. I can steam them, and they're so moist and good. So look at all the micronutrients you save by steaming. And broccoli has been found to be better for you when you steam it just 3 or 4 minutes. Better that way, nutrition-wise, than even raw. So, and easier to digest for those who might have issues with digestion. So, according to this, the best way is to steam. Now, acrylamide and AGEs. What in the world is that? Acrylamide is a cancer-causing chemical formed as a result of heating starchy foods at high temperatures. High amounts are found in potato chips, corn chips, and French fries. Uh-oh. There's a reason to stop eating those foods because of the cancer-causing chemical that's there. Advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, are molecules that form when heated sugars and starches attach to proteins, particularly when cooking at high temperatures in the absence of water to the point of browning. Think of fried chicken, fried fish, hush puppies. Okay, well, especially not the hush puppies because the protein's not there, but think of the fish and the chicken and the other foods like that, the deep fried turkey. This is what happens. AGEs damage every tissue. Did you hear that? When you eat foods that are heated, deep fried, heated to the point of browning, you are damaging every tissue in the body. And it constitutes a risk factor for cardiovascular disease, kidney damage, nerve degeneration, cancer, aging, Alzheimer's disease, and other chronic conditions. Is it worth it to you to change the foods you eat? Is it worth it to you to change how you cook your foods? It's a choice. And wouldn't it be great to be healthy because you made that choice? Now, heterocyclic amines. These are formed when you cook protein like chicken or steak at high temperatures to the point of charring. In other words, getting really, really dark, burning. Foods that are ingested that are charred are implicated in colon cancer. You remember I shared with you that my mom died of colon cancer? She loved to get her foods charred. She loved it. And was that part of what happened? Very well could be. You don't want to cook in Teflon-coated pans. You want to opt for stainless steel or cast iron pans. PFOA and other chemicals in Teflon coatings are likely carcinogens, and they have been linked to thyroid and heart disease. I had a nutrition coach share. He said, you know, it's no wonder I've had some health issues. He said, my mom used to fry our eggs in the Teflon pan, and as she pushed it off, you know, you weren't supposed to ever use a metal type spatula. You're supposed to use wood or plastic, and his mom would take that egg and push it onto the plate out of the Teflon pan, and he said little flakes of the Teflon came with it, and they didn't think anything about it. They just went ahead and ate it. And so he said it was no wonder he was having health issues. So here's your list of anti-cancer foods. The Alliaceous family: garlic, leeks, scallion, and onion. Lycopene, you find it in tomatoes, beets, watermelon. Chlorophyll, you find this in your green, leafy, dark green leafy vegetables. Your cruciferous: broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, collards, and bok choy. And broccoli is an amazing food to help women with breast cancer. Your cruciferous vegetables are so important for your body. Berries, green tea, flax seeds, and I put in parenthesis seeds. I encourage you not to purchase ground flax seeds. It's important to purchase the seed and grind as you use it, or if they'll grind up enough for you in your blender, your Vitamix, NutriBullet, whatever it is you use, then throw them in whole. If you like them ground, then put them in a coffee bean grinder. It takes just 10 seconds, and then you can drop them in your smoothie or your salad, or mix it in with other foods you're making. I like to put them on whole on top of a salad. It makes it crunchy. Mushrooms, resveratrol in your red grapes, fermented soy such as natto, miso, and tempeh. You want to be very careful about soy. You want to be sure that any soy that you have is non-GMO organic. Very, very important to pay attention, but it's best to have the fermented. Now let's look at foods to avoid. We've talked about some of these. Non-organic meat, especially processed meats, lunch meat, stay away from it. Farm-raised fish, cow dairy, alcohol, sugar and artificial sweeteners, table salt. Instead, use pink Himalayan or Celtic sea salt, because those salts are good for you. Processed food, vegetable oils and trans fats, GMOs, soda, regular and diet, and flour and commercial baked goods. These are the foods to avoid. And you know, if you are really sick and needing to just eliminate all of this, then I say do it. Just get rid of everything. If you're someone who is wanting to make changes to be healthier, if you can go cold turkey, so to speak, and just knock them all out at one time and say, I'm just not going to do it, then that's what I encourage for you. However, if you know doing that is going to cause you to regret, resent especially, and say it's not worth it and I'm going to eat those things and put them back in my diet, then I encourage you to do one simple change at a time. Take it a step at a time. You could even contact me and coach with me, and I will work with you, because it's important to have someone to be accountable to. And I'll be honest, it wasn't the easiest thing for me to get rid of all these foods all at one time. I use so much sweet and low. And so I stopped slowly to the point then no longer do I use it. As far as sugar, I would go to, say, a church potluck, and instead of getting a great big dessert or 3 or 4 desserts and just really, inhaling all of that, instead I would get a little tiny spoonful, not a big spoon, like a teaspoon size, of maybe 2 or 3 of the desserts I really, really wanted. And that's all I allowed myself. And that was how I started cutting back. And then, other things. I began to make the changes with the oils, and I got off of my diet sodas. And so I began to take things out and replace with better things. And now I've gotten rid of the breads. So how you do it is what's going to work best for you in how you feel about this. If you feel I've got to do it a little at a time, then make a plan. Get with me. Let me coach with you, and let's create a plan. Let's get strategic and eliminate, get to the point that you have all these foods out of your diet. Now, here's some contact information for Dr. Silberstein. Her office, thebeatcancer.org, is in the Richboro, Pennsylvania area. And then there's my website and my email address and my cell phone where you can contact me. If you want to continue this conversation on a one-to-one basis, then I encourage you to coach with me. And if you're not sure that coaching is for you, then you can sign up for a complimentary strategy session. Just click the schedule in themastersmasterpiece.com and let's just talk for 20 minutes and let's see, if we're a good fit. Let's see if this is the direction you want to go, and I'll be happy to work with you. I want to say thank you. Thank you for investing in you. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this information, to want to make your body healthy. As I said before, after learning this information from Dr. Silberstein, I was at a point of, I can't not share this with other people. How dare I keep this information to myself? There are so many people who are sick and don't know the answers. They don't know where to turn. And I've been honored to learn this information from Dr. Silberstein and now to get to share it with you. And I pray that you'll pass this on. This webinar is free. Share it with others. And I just want to say thank you again for allowing me to share. And I hope you will share this with others. Have a wonderful, blessed day.